YouTube, B Smokehouse back here with you, and today I've got me a top blade roast. This is a top blade roast I sourced from Porter Road. Good thing I sourced it when I did. So with this video, the theme of this video is going to be another brisket alternative. With the holidays right around the corner, more specifically Christmas, I am looking for other types of protein to cook besides ham, besides turkey. This is a top blade roast. It comes from the shoulder clod. I've done a portion of shoulder clod here on the channel. From this roast, you can get your 2 top blade steaks. You can also get your flat iron steaks, right? So this one is about 5 pounds. This cut has been made somewhat famous by Lawry and Lewis in Central Texas. It's a bucket list item. Eventually I'll get there to sample theirs. But until then, I'm going to have to make my own. Again, we're going to keep this cooked simple, straight to the point. Currently, it's about 8 o'clock here in my neck of Texas. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and get this seasoned up so it can set for a few hours. And then I'll get it on the smoker. Today, we will be running the Old Country Wrangler. We're going to be using Hickory and some Post Oak. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do, make sure I got you guys in frame, we're going to get it dried off. Makes cutting, if I have to do any cutting, a bit easier. Alright. They did a nice job of trimming all that silver skin off the underside. We're going to treat this just like you would a brisket. Again, this will be for my channel brisket alternative number 2. Right? You see that all that marbling. This cut, again, you see that marbling. There's a lot of collagen, a lot of gelatin in this cut. It's looking pretty good so far. I'm not going to do anything to this backside. Now let's flip it over. I did see some silver skin, however, I'm not going to chase the silver skin because then I would be getting rid of my fat cap. We're going to cook. I'm aiming to cook this. We're going to start off kind of low because I want the first 2 or 3 hours of this to be able to soak up some of that nice smoke and go ahead and build our bark. All right, I might have to take some of this down at fat cap. All right. Nothing too difficult. This is going to stay on. I'm estimating anywhere from 7 to 10 hours. I'm going to get it on tonight so I'm not staying up with this all day tomorrow. All right. I like the way it is. We might round some of these corners out. Round some of these corners out. All right. Okay. That out before you can eat this, or you'll be chewing for days. Now, there's not a lot of fat on here. However, this particular one has some good striations. Again, this cut is packed full of collagen, right? There's going to be a bit of unctuousness, and from my research on the internet, like most people treat these just like a brisket, unless they're going to part it out to get those flat iron steaks out of there. So I like where this is. We're going to go ahead and get this seasoned up. Black pepper. This is going to be my bottom side. Again, this 16 mesh black pepper is going to attract a lot of smoke, and it's going to help us to start our bark. You want a blacker bark, a deeper color bark, use more black pepper. Real simple. With some kosher salt. Again, one other change I've made on this channel is that I'm no longer using Morton's. I still have it here in my kitchen, still used to cook with, but this diamond, there's something special about it, right? So, unfortunately, here in my area is really hard to find. So I went ahead and got 4 or 5 boxes of this, and this is what one of those smaller boxes constitutes. All right, so Now we're gonna get the sides. I actually got 2 of them. Put one in the old freezer. So now we're gonna give a nice sheet of Diamond Crystal Kosher. I'm going up high and I'm keeping the salt moving. All right. This is a big chunk of meat again, 5 pounds of meat. Under salted, right? All right. Give that a nice pat in. Now I'm gonna let this sit here and tack up. I'll give this about 5 minutes, and then I'll come and flip it and get that top side. Stay tuned. All right, we're back. I've let that salt activate, both the Diamond Crystal Kosher salt as well as that Lawry seasoned salt. It is looking moist. We're gonna go ahead and get it flipped over. Do the same thing to the top side. All right, so we're gonna go down 16 mesh. All right. Now, I am going to let this salt activate. One of the mistakes that I see made a lot of times, again, I'm not trying to call anybody out, is that they don't give this salt time to activate. Again, we did it for the bottom side and also the sides. We're going to let it do the same as the top. Now, it is quite customary to still see flakes of salt on that fat, as it will not dissolve any salts like the actual uncovered portions of meat will. So again, this will still get a bit moist. I'm going to leave this out for the next 20 minutes to let that salt activate. I'll get it into my fridge, and then probably in the next 2 or 3 hours we're going to start a fire and I'll get cooking. Stay tuned. All right, we got the roast on. I had second guessed myself. I was going to put it on long ways. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let it ride out here. If we get curling or anything like that, I'll deal with it when it happens. It's looking pretty good. Everything's looking moist. That salt is activated. Let me show you guys what the fire is looking like. Initially started off with about 3 whole splits of 2 hickory, 1 post oak. We're gonna let that ride until I get some nice charcoals. I want to make use of this smoke coming off of that oak. Stay tuned. All right, we're at about 3 hours in. That color's coming along. We got some mahogany on there. We're gonna keep cooking. I'm looking to get this thing deep, dark black. All right, not burnt. I also know that fat's beginning to render. I don't think we're gonna have a problem getting that silver skin to where we can eat it. Got some smoke being pumped. Again, that's that post oak. Stay tuned. All right, guys, we're at about 8 hours. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap and go for another 2.5 hours. We should be good to go. I like the bark that we've gotten. Still got a bit of moisture that needs to dry up. We'll get that done here in the wrap. In this spritz, I have the vinegar from some pickles that I did. Real garlic heavy. I have not gotten any sleep, if you can't hear it in my voice. Got a bit of beef tallow. I don't have much left, but I'm going to use what I have. Trying to use the rest of the spritz. Alright, let's get to wrapping. Smells delicious. Alright, this is going to go back on. I think we got about 2, maybe 2.5, max 3 hours. Stay tuned. Alright, just pulled it off the smoker. Sitting at 199. We're going to let this rest down at room temperature. I did open it to vent some of that steam. We're going to let it rest down to about 140, 150 degrees. And I'm going to put it into my warmer. We'll let it sit in the warmer for the next 3 to 5 hours. And then we're going to pull it out and get a taste test. Stay tuned. YouTube, we're back here with the finished product. I'm getting ready to get this cut so I can sit down and eat. Overall, total cook time is about 10 hours. It's been sitting in my warming oven for the last 2.5, 3 hours. I brought this to a temperature of about 201 to 203. Different places in it was temping 201, some as high as 203. Now I know this fat is rendered. This has a lot of collagen in it. I think I did a good job of rendering that collagen. However, I would say this, that I think I may have left this in the wrap a little bit too long. I believe that it messed up some of my bark. However, I still see bits and areas of bark, right? Alright, let's get to it. Cut it down the middle. Actually, cut like butter. See what we have. Ooh, look at that. Not too shabby. You can see that gelatin has rendered. You see that band going through the middle? It's fully rendered. Let's get a slice, because I'm getting ready to sit down and watch a game. Let's see what we have. Ooh. Much like brisket, right? Got that band. I know it's tender. It's actually still incredibly juicy, right? I like that. All right, not too bad. I thought I had did a much worse job. Again, this is my first time cooking this. You see that collagen has broken down. It's turned into gelatin. That's what you want. Let's cut a piece and see what we have. Smells awfully delicious. That, can you see that? Let's see. That is awesome. That collagen that broke down, that band that's in the middle, it separates the two different steaks. It has broken down, it's become jelly. It's quite delicious. It's not like fat, texture of fat, but the flavor is a bit different. It's juicy. It's tender. bark actually tastes pretty good. I thought I may have used too much seasoned salt, along with that Diamond Crystal Kosher salt. This is really good. I'm probably gonna buy me 2 or 3 more of these and do some experimentation. Right? Again, this is my first time cooking this. The next time I do it, more than likely I'm gonna change up some things. Right? And I'm probably going to go uncovered the whole cook. This for 5 pounds, about 10 hours. You know, we're looking at an hour to hour and a half per pound, right? Really small. However, I can tell you this: I probably can put about a half of this away. So if you don't feel like cooking a large brisket and you got access to this, go ahead and get on Porter Road and get you one of these before they sell out again. It's my understanding that these don't last long. I'll probably be giving me 1 or 2 more, sending a few to my friends over the holidays. Until the next video, Beef Smokehouse out.